another question I get is, why do people bother wasting money paying for experts to do things when they could just do it themselves or just look it up on the internet? I'm Audrey Chisholm with Chisholm Law Firm. We help companies and individuals start and grow nonprofits that impact the world. So let me explain a story. Not too long ago, I broke my toe. Yes, I broke my toe. And it's amazing that when you break a toe, it's such a small thing, but it really impacts you. I was in a tremendous amount of pain. Suddenly I could not even walk. I mean, just that one small thing makes a huge difference. And so the first thing that I did was I was like, oh, let me just look this up on the internet for the solution. And so the internet told me like, hey, you should, tape up the toe, tape them up together or something, and that will help you. So I tried to do that myself. I ordered some tape from, Publix or something. It was this like special type of tape, and I taped it up. Still did not work. I was still in an immense amount of pain. I still couldn't walk. That was not helpful. All right. So then the next thing that I decided to do was I was like, I still want to kind of save on money or what have you. So I went to this little like quick clinic, right? And so I went there and they were like, yeah, we definitely think you broke it. And they just said the same thing. We'll just put like a little more tape on it. Like they called it like buddy tape. But again, I left there still not being able to walk. I'm like, how am I going to function? I have a family. I have commitments and obligations. This is not cool at all. But then finally, my husband was like, you know what? Like something similar happened to me. He's like, you really need to meet with like an actual like foot doctor, like someone that specializes in it, that knows. You need to pay to see an expert. And I was like, oh man, I don't want to do it. But you know what? No worries. Let's do it. So I actually met with a podiatrist. These are experts. They have studied, feet and all those kinds of things, right? And they told me something completely different. They were like, oh, we have a solution for you. Yes, you broke the toe, but you need a boot. And I was like, what's a boot? It almost looks like a space like shoe, something that an astronaut would wear. But in essence, they're like, it allows you to wear, it secures the foot, and it's something that you can wear and you'll still be able to walk. And you won't be in pain, but it will also secure the foot and the toe so that it can heal. And I was like, oh my goodness, this sounds too good to be true. So sure enough, they strapped it on me. I was terrified to put any weight on it because I knew the amount of pain that I'd been in before. And guess what? It worked. I was like, oh my goodness. So the internet articles were wrong. The little like quick clinic place that I went to, they were wrong. But me taking the time to pay an expert, to go to someone that studied it, that knows it, that was a huge difference. And I can't tell you how many times that's happened, right? Me trying to self-diagnose myself online for something that happened. Like, one time I felt like I had like an ingrown hair or something. I was like, let me look this up on the internet. What do I do? And they had all these different things to do. And people were like, yeah, you should do this, you should do that, or whatever. But finally I said, no, let me meet with an expert. I met with my primary care physician, and they were like, no, don't do those things at all. You would have gotten an infection. And actually, it wasn't even what you thought it was. It's something else, right? And they gave me a course of action that was helpful. So the same thing applies to like hiring an attorney for your nonprofit. Yes, I understand you read something on Google or one of your friends told you this, etc. But, again, you can make whatever decision you want. But from my personal experience, the risks are too great. I took advice from an attorney, right, that did not specialize in nonprofits. That was not his focus. He was a real estate attorney. And he gave me advice on my nonprofit. I listened to it and I paid the price. I lost my nonprofit status with the IRS. I had to reapply. We had to stop getting funding. It was embarrassing. It was a huge ordeal. It was expensive to fix. Again, that was years ago. We were able to rebound from it. And we now help clients reestablish their nonprofit after they've lost tax exempt status. But you don't want to go through that if you can avoid it, right? So avoiding it just means find an expert. That is someone that does what you do or what you want routinely, right? They do it all the time. They know the laws. They're staying on top of changes. Things are changing so fast, etc. And then that way you can know that the work that you're paying for is going to be done properly. And if something happens, you have someone to hold accountable, right? Because if you're just going off of, what the internet says, or you did some kind of do-it-yourself software, etc., if you mess up, there is no one to hold accountable. It's on you. They're going to tell you, hey, we didn't give you legal advice. We're not attorneys. We can't advise you. You did this on your own. So face the consequences. But instead, if you hire a professional, if you hire an expert, you've got a greater likelihood of avoiding a bunch of mistakes and things that you did not know. And then you also have someone that you can go back to in the event that you have more questions or need more services, etc. Right? Because at the end of the day, we don't know what we don't know, myself included. When it came to my toe, when it came to many of the other things I've dealt with, you just don't know what you don't know. But you can avoid some of that learning curve. You can avoid some of the mistakes, the pain, the costly delays by working with people that have been there and done that. All right, I hope this has been helpful. If you need help with your nonprofit as far as getting started, as far as growing it with grant writing, or protecting your brand with a trademark to own your nonprofit's name, logo, or slogan, or the name of your signature program, or even anything else, reestablishing your nonprofit if you've lost your exempt status, or setting up a foundation, etc., reach out to us at the information below. We'd love to help.